Welcome to the Infidelity Doctor channel. My name is Dr. Talal Salim, and this is the Ask Dr. Talal segment. Your place to ask me anything you want to know about affair recovery and affair prevention. Please remember that this is not a substitute for the counseling that you're supposed to be getting. This is merely a place for you to get some basic questions answered and learn about my clinical insights when it comes to affair recovery and affair prevention. So before we get to the question of the week, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can get the most recent updates. So the question of the week is as follows. How come the unfaithful doesn't confess to the affair prior to discovery? Great question. First of all, it is very rare when you encounter an unfaithful who actually tell the betrayed about the affair prior to it being discovered. And even in those rare situations, there's usually ulterior motives. So sometimes the unfaithful share that information because they want to get ahead of it, because maybe the third party or the affair partner is threatening to blackmail them. Maybe it's an issue of, had an inappropriate interaction with somebody at the workplace, and now there's an HR issue that or a lawsuit that the betrayed is going to discover. So again, I want to get ahead of it. And sometimes maybe the unfaithful got an STI, and now they have to actually come clean and let the betrayed know why they're not having sexual intimacy, or why the betrayed is having symptoms related to this STI. So oftentimes there are ulterior motives. In terms of how come they don't confess to the infidelity and wait for it to be discovered, a lot of it has to do with the unfaithful banking on the idea that maybe I won't get caught. And, if my partner risk for discovery is minimal, why should I stop this behavior? But also, more importantly, infidelity is a symptom of a bigger problem. It's a symptom of an individual issue, or a relationship issue, or an environmental stressor, or a combination of all three. So bad behavior is not going to change if you're not addressing those issues. So a lot of times it continues, right? And there is no confessing to it because the primary causes of infidelity are not being addressed. Another version of this question, people say, okay, so if the infidelity was not discovered or intercepted, what would have happened? Well, when you leave dysfunction unchecked, it's either going to grow or eventually the affair is going to fizzle out. Not because the unfaithful is done with it, right? Sometimes they move on to somebody else, but sometimes, just life circumstances end up ending the affair. But oftentimes the dysfunction is going to take a deeper and a darker twist. Some people might leave their current partner and have a full-on relationship with the affair partner. But also another variation of this, sometimes the betrayed ask, and this is the situation in which the infidelity was caused by a relationship deficit. My partner brought it up to my attention that he or she were not happy with specific issues. I made those changes. And even though we made those changes and our relationship seems to be perfect, my partner was still continuing his or her affair. Well, in those circumstances, sometimes, even though the affair might have started by a relationship deficit, the unfaithful got used to the idea of having multiple people fulfilling their needs. So now it becomes an issue of I'm enjoying having my cake and eating it too type of situation. So hopefully this answers the question of the week. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below about the answer that you heard, as well as suggestion of questions that you'd like to see me answer in future videos. Until then, be well, be safe, and embrace the possibility for a brighter future. Take care.